Welcome to Nevermind the Furthermore. Wait a minute, this music isn't right, the scene isn't right. Hang on. That's more like it. And now it's time for the show for all creatives. Nevermind the Furthermore. Your source for conversation, inspiration, and fun. With your host, Nicholas Anthony Tockert. He's an artist, a writer, a swordsman, and a game designer. He knows how to use the sword and axe in historical battles without anybody getting hurt too much. He's also the Manatee Man, master of marketing. And he may even have a guest or two. One thing, though, to be certain. Just don't call him a cryptid. With that, it's about time for the show. So sit back, enjoy, and have some coffee and chat with us.
Good morning, Nevermorians. I'm your host with the most, Mr. Nicholas Anthony Tockert, coming at you over the airways on WNTF. Nevermind the Furthermore. Nevermind the Furthermore is brought to you with the love and support of our good friends over at the Independent Creator Directory. That's indcd.org. Your one-stop shop for the best and the brightest authors, artists, and musicians. We're also, my friends, made possible by sales of the Simple Sword, the Fighting Axe, and the Simple Spear, all part of our ongoing series of Western martial arts manuals designed to help you go from having never handled the sword to teaching the art to others. The Big Stuffy Robots line of books and games and STLs and glorious things. Wonders known and unknown. Guys, because we should have fun gaming. We should blow stuff up. But we're also on this blustery, cold day made possible by Hainson Hellfire. A dark secret is claiming 2 lives and is hunting an innocent child at the edge of the Appalachian Mountains. Only his aunt, a plucky reporter, her cameraman, and a very odd cat stand. I say they stand. My friends, they stand against the forces of darkness. Happy Friday. How the heck are you? We're coming at you live from the wonderful world of Earl Park, where the corn sharks are sleeping, the sheriffs are reaping, and everything is doing what it's doing. Yes, friends, let's talk accountability. Yesterday was a very spicy accountability day for yours truly. I had a visit I've been expecting for some time. And that was the dreaded Koepp knock. If you are familiar with the Koepp knock, you know exactly what I'm talking about. If you aren't, after the first time you hear it, you'll know it. It's distinct. It is clear. It's the police. Now, 2 of Benton County's finest decided to come by to ask me some valuable questions about my next door neighbor's habits and whereabouts, wherein I said, as I always do, I know nothing. But apparently he has left the vicinity. And I've had to do some things that I don't talk about a lot. I cut off the power to his place because we've been giving him power. I was hoping it was a wellness check because I've been worried about the guy. But it looks like at some point in the future, that will be visited by a good friend, the bulldozer. And in that case, I will have to get my yard stuff fixed up pretty quick once they go through that effort to try to make that a thing. All that being said, it was an exciting day, and there's been a lot going on in the news, and people who follow me on Facebook know I monitor it, and some very, very good people I respect have encouraged me to be a little less attentive. And the problem with that is I predicted a great deal of what's been going on lately. And the problem with that, I need to express, is I am hitting the line of the pattern breaking. And it's affecting me because I've seen a pattern of events leading up to a series of events. And I've seen it for the last 10 years. And I've been speaking about this. Beyond that, I don't know. And me not knowing is not something I am very happy about. Because all the data I have has been unsettling. So that break has affected me, as it's affected many of you. And all we can do is try to encourage each other right now, take care of each other, and be as supportive as possible. So we're doing that. Now, part of what I do is I had the always pleasure last night of running the D&D game for the kids. And I don't think those kids will ever understand, one, how much work goes into it, and two, how important to me it is to be able to do that and be of service to those guys. Because heaven help us, this business is their normal. And there's an acute tragedy there. So I had a distinct pleasure of running a great game. I had a lot of fun. And I encourage you guys. I really do. If you have the means to do anything, to share what you do with your local libraries, please do so. Put on programs. Running a program for most of us on what we do, and what I mean by what you do, whatever your hobby is, whatever you're into, running that does not cost you anything, and it doesn't need to cost the libraries anything. It can just be of service to the community. And maybe nobody will show up. Maybe a few people will show up. Maybe people will show up and miss, you'll find out that they missed it. But it's a great way to interact. It's a great way to share the vast knowledge you have. Because let's be honest, my audience tends to be split between those of the much older persuasion and those of the much younger persuasion. As a great many of us around my age, being about halfway north of 40, are so busy trying to live their lives and run businesses and things and work and then sleep that they don't have a lot of time to do the kind of silly things we do on the time frame that I run my shows. And we'll be talking about some of that. There will be some content changes. I'm going to discuss that tonight on the Historical Fencing Guild. Now, for the Kick in YouTube folks, it'll be in the same place. for the for the Kick and Twitter, not Twitter. I don't have an AI trying to take people's clothes off. Twitch, for the Kick and Twitch folks, it'll be right where we always are. For the YouTube folks, it'll be over on the Historical Fencing Guild channel. Now, I have some plans in the works concerning that, and we'll discuss that then because it'll be most applicable to the folks who show up over there. So that's something I've had to think about and work on for quite a while. Accountability-wise, like I said, I ran a game. And running a game means setting it up, blocking things out. I did so in an organized manner. Stop and think about that. Anyone who knows me, and certainly anyone who's had the pleasure of having me run a game, knows a organized manner. Yes, I went in knowing what I was going to do for the most part. I did throw some delightful spicy bits in, but it is set up in such a way that the kids are getting to vent. Shenanigans are running aplenty. And we just may have a chance to remind them all that, of course, Lothario loves you. Now, that is a mostly inside joke for them, but it'll get to them, and that's what matters. Now, we are heading toward the weekend. It is colder than a well digger's hind end out there, as my father would say, and I am trying to make it one more day. So what we're going to do, we're going to talk about our plans. I have a lot of organizational plans for this weekend. I have a lot of work plans for this weekend, should things work out. We're coming off of a bit of a tear over here that had to be addressed, and I think things are going to get better. I hope they are going to get better in the near future. I am trying to get my phone to work, but I'm in a catch-22 where to reactivate some things that they goofed up, I have to do things, but I can't do it till they open it up, and I get to argue with them for a while. Actually, probably have Mandy argue with them till she hands the phone to me, and then I growl, and then things will get fixed. But on the positive news, we have secured potential to be leaning towards getting fiber internet, which means the switch. And we're still working our way through that process. In the event of that, my broadcast issues should go right out the window because I'll no longer be broadcasting via cellular tower that shakes, quakes, and otherwise loses its bloody mind anytime the wind blows in the windiest place in Indiana, one of the windiest places in the nation. Yes. So, long term, we should improve. With the neighbor situation being cleared up one way or another, I will probably be more likely to both do programs over here and more recordings, both related to the guild, related to what we do on this channel, related to more and unique content. Because as I can remove my stressors and get my brain back in place, things should knock on plastic improve. And that's what we're doing. We're building up because for 9 to 5 folks, if the 9 to 5 like that still exists, but for a lot of people, they're working for the weekend. For a lot of us, we're headed toward the weekend to work. And that's okay. But I will be making some lifestyle choice changes on my broadcast schedule and a few things. to make that easier on me. So I'm looking forward. No, not looking. Honestly, it's a change, and I hate change. But I think it's a necessary change. And from that, it is my fondest hope that things will improve. That's what we do. Because I have too many partial plans that just need to happen. I have too many books that are floating. I have too many ideas that are half finished. And I find myself bogged in possibility. And that's not good. I'm juggling too much mentally to keep track of it. So I'm addressing that. It means working towards my weaknesses, including organization, socialization, and being optimistic. But with these changes come opportunities. With these opportunities come hope. I'd like to get back where I'm on a sustainable work schedule instead of getting where I decide I need a project done and just not sleeping till the project is done or I physically collapse from exhaustion. I don't think that's the best way to do things. I'm starting to hazard a guess. But, your creative process may differ. So I'll be dealing with that. You deal with some hardware shifts. I need to provide more to a few people. So that's going to start happening again. I took some hits, and some of them you guys got to hear about, and some of them you'll never get to hear about. But the only way things get better at the end of the day is if we set out and we do it and we make them better. Right now, we live in a world where responsibility is passed like a hot potato. And I am coming to the point where, there's a sign, actually. It's in my living room. I've got it at Goodwill somewhere, shock, gas bore. A little CNC sign, the colored plastic where they ground up the top layer and shows the white under. They were very popular in the 80s. Anyway, it says, "I'm the captain of this shipwreck." And I am. And it's high time I deal with some of this stuff. So that's what I'm doing, folks. And that's what I hope you're doing too. I do hope you guys are careful out there with current events. I hope you are situationally aware. It's very important that we all become as situationally aware as possible for a while. Okay? Beyond that, we just keep trucking. And we're going to do the best for each other because it matters. At the end of the day, at the end of the week, at the month, year, whatever, powers and principalities are going to rumble about like giants in the playground, and we're going to have to run about like ants trying not to get squished. But the thing is, we can still go out, find some food and stick it back in the hive. We can still take care of each other when we fall. We can still make beautiful things, make art, make music, tell the stories. Because in the end, We are all painfully mortal. We are all fleeting glimmers. But as a very wise fellow once said, ideas are bulletproof. And you don't know. You don't know if what you'll do will radiate out. You'll never know. It's one of the curses of being a creative. There's always a chance. Now, I know statistically and historically, the odds are somebody like me will be utterly forgotten and karmically irrelevant on the grander scale of things. But maybe if I can help somebody who can help somebody somewhere down the line, somebody with the right mix of talent, resources, and opportunity, well, they'll be able to make a positive difference that's substantial while all the little goods keep going on. There's no way for any of you guys to know this, but our buddy Brian Rodman reached out to me last night in private, quietly. And all he said was, "This will help." And it's funny because I got this after I had a conversation with my wife. A grim conversation, mind you. I was in a grim place. I indulged in actually feeling and expressing certain emotions I don't normally, because normally I'm accompanied by Xander. And he has the same levels of empathy that I do without the means of understanding it in many ways. But what he showed me was a clip from a deleted scene from Lord of the Rings. And I mean deleted. It wasn't in the theatrical, it wasn't in the extended, way buried. And God help me if I cannot understand why. It's in the middle of one of the battles. And I think it's got to be from the Hobbit, Lord of the Rings movies. I think it's from one of the Hobbits. Has to be, because it's got the guy who looks more like Orlando Bloom than Orlando Bloom does in those movies. But Gandalf is in despair. I think that's Bard the Bowman. They're in despair. Orcs are just mowing down the city. It's not going well. And Bilbo, what do we do? And he walks over to this patch of dirt in the middle of the city. Gets on his hands and knees. And he buries an acorn. He says that's a promise that life can return, that things will get better. And I'm paraphrasing it, and I'm not putting the gravitas behind it, in part because I hear a little man thumping around, and I don't want to risk upsetting him. But the point is, when you can do nothing about the forces that are allied against you, and I've seen this time and time again. I don't know why I forget this lesson. When the world looks impossibly looming, literally or metaphorically, take that moment and plant the seed. Plant the seed of something better, of hope for the future, of a dream. In many ways, it's an offering to the universe. A hint that even in the deepest despair, even in the darkest shadows that we must stride through, as they break upon us like a storm, there are patches. There are patches of dirt that are opportunities to put an acorn in it. There are places where seeds and ideas can be planted. There are so many great plants, like the redwoods, the sequoias, and things that require a heinously destructive bushfire to heat up and prepare the seeds for release. It is my fondest hope that the times we live in now are such a storm. They are the passing of a wildfire. And I've seen them. I've seen forest fires. I've been in them. I've watched one whip across the forests and mountains near Yellowstone. And it looked like, honest to God, it looked like hell itself had opened up and was taking a stroll. Been through places that got so hot the tires nearly melted. It got so hot. The air was so thick with smoke, you couldn't see more than half a car length ahead of you, and all you could do is just slowly keep rolling. Because that's one thing the firefighter said, you got to keep moving, because if you stop, the heat will melt the tire, pop it. You got to keep moving. And after all the clutter and weeds and garbage were burnt away, all that remained in this vast graveyard of trees was black, surprisingly fertile earth. So if you plant your seeds right, if you keep moving, the potential is there. I often feel isolated in very specific ways. I feel often as though I'm the only one trying to follow the rules that are assigned to what I deem my faith, and not in a way of better or worse. It's just tragic that seems so many miss the point, the simple point of just be good to each other. You know, your faith in whatever, God, the higher powers, he, she, it, they, that's between you and them. It's not my job. But the idea is that we should simply treat people like we want to be treated. Love people as we love ourselves. These ideas matter. And they're not profitable. And they don't often encourage power in their very nature. But they encourage the best parts of humanity. So as we face everything that we're dealing with today, as we face everything that's going on, many of us choose simply not to. Understand that those of us who make it through, and I do phrase it that way honestly, will find a very specific type of potential on the other side. But it's a lot better if we work towards it now. So, guys, it's an old saying around these parts about hashtag fueled by spite. There's a lot to spite right now. There's a lot to rebel against. There's a lot to oppose. But remember, there's also a lot to stand for. There's a lot to build up. There's a lot to sometimes even submit to. Because sometimes we have to put down the very real and necessary and practical worries of our time and give in to the impossible ideas of hope. Because, my friends, it's only through pursuing hope, pursuing kindness, pursuing a little light in this world, that if enough of us in small numbers do that, that'll get better. And I have faith that each and every one of you who are watching this, each and every one of you who sit and strive to make things a little better, can do that, and that it can be. Because if you do nothing, it will only get worse. And frankly, I believe you're all better than that. One second, the commercial kicked back up.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Here you go, babe. Thank you, dear.
You're welcome.
I got it. Drink delivery. Well, guys, I went long in my monologue, but I think it was important. So, give me just a sec. I needed something a little throat coating. You know what? No. Don't even start with me. But I'm way behind in the comments. Oh, and a bunch of people are saying hi.
Hi.
Amanda Enzander from bed says hi. Let me get to the top and let's go through. First of the door at 9:30, so I'm an hour behind. Good morning, everyone. Good morning, Carl. How are you? Accountability. Didn't do any useful work except around the house. Yay. Sometimes that's what you need. Morning. Good morning, Trelana. I love having a sane boss. He saw snow coming in and decided we were both working from home. Oh, that is gorgeous. Fortunately, Mandy's off today, so we can watch the silliness and not necessarily have to go out and do stuff if we don't want to. Although, you know me, I want to. But I'm glad you're home with Bread and Hobo and that brilliant, talented techno mage lurking in your basement. Hey, Foxy, good morning, and greetings, Foxy, and Carl's greeting people. And slave driver Carl's trying to get them back into the Munsey cult, Go, slave! Today marks thesis getting a badge for 1 year of capping, I think. Oh, that's cool. Should be yes. Woohoo! And good morning, Mr. Hollifield. How are you, good sir? And Carl says the YouTuber Max Velocity Has downgraded your chance of getting snow. Maybe rain, though. Well, that's nice. Morning. Still pretty cold. Sometimes I think I'd rather have it be colder and get the snow than that only a little bit warmer but get the rain, because that just, ugh. Yep. Might be near 40 today. Wow, we're sitting at 28 now. 36 there. I love the weather discussion. And expecting 48. Well, that's nice. Yeah, sort of. Yeah, compared to us, we need more cold and snow. We are not out of drought conditions yet. Oh, so no cookouts? I might, oh God, see, if I had the stuff, I'd be tempted to fire up that indoor grill again. That was good. I mean, we could. But I'm tired of water restrictions. It'd be nice to just have a year where I could justify my garden. Yeah, we got to find some way for you guys to be able to plant some stuff, because that's a really good idea right now. Foxy. And there goes the squeaky car, like clockwork. About 8 every morning. And morning, says Dawn. Good morning, Dawn. Of course, I will show her feline, her fashionable felines, Buddy and Georgette. Fan art by me. Viv is on the phone, so I'll tune in shortly. Well, you take all the time you need with Viv. Hey, Dawn. And, of course, today I've been up since about 4. Had to go down the hall and couldn't sleep. I was up till 2. And I woke up a little bit before 8. But bed was comfy, and as soon as I tried to get up, Dusty persuaded me not to, because he comes into our bedroom early in the morning and then tries his best to lay on us to force us to stay in bed where it's warm and cozy. Until he decides we need to come out and do something else. But, hi, Dawn. Aw. Got to go check on Donna, run down the hall, but headphone users beware. Yes. Angelina, my dear, how are you? Good morning, everyone. God, it's cold here. 24 degrees when I left this morning. I feel bad for y'all. Oh, we're up to 28. It's just the wind is out. Warnings. Danger, Will Robinson. That is cold. It is cold enough that the breeze is going right through my window. Like, I can the Mylar blanket thing I was using as a reflector that the cats decided was offensive was flapping noisily. Botrix joined the channel. Woo! Hey, everyone. Hey. And not putting mine on until after I see him finish the scream. Good tactics there, Rich. How are you doing? Agrees for Angelina, and howdy, folks. Rich. Don't forget to like and share, folks. Like I said earlier, send the snow this way. Wish I could. Very smart, Rich. Drops like in the snow. Oops, here's a dry one for Nick. Well, thank you. It would be very bad with the hearing aids. Bet he'd peg them. Yeah, I'm gonna let that one sit with y'all, because I think you need that. Yeah. Whoo! Oh, ouch. And wow, safe for headphones now. We hope. Why am I thinking of Billy Connolly right now? Well, thank you. I actually take that as huge compliment. A huge compliment. Very high praise. My brain was scrambling thoughts. I've got some Billy Connolly energy. I just did not feel like tying it back today. Just some days you just want to feel the static, you know? Right, it's the hair. And I've been called far worse. Hi, Donna. Pegging hearing aid sounds hard and painful, Rich. See, Billy Connolly and Billy Mays Love Child. Yes, today we're bringing you Mountain Lightning for those of us who don't want to pay full price for our bizarre chemical concoctions. Mountain Lightning, because I ran out of coffee this morning. That was already brewed. Hey, Donna. Alright, and hey, Joe. Hi, Joe. Dawn is back. She's back again. Dawn is back. Phone a friend. And typing ability halved. Callie in left arm. It happens. And Callie wanted love from me, but ran back to Mama. Hey, getting it. If you're back, does that make Ted front? Oh my goodness. Ted is little spoon. Any image to get Billy Connolly and Billy Mays vision out of my head. But wait, there's more! Now, he's always been the smaller spoon, but now he's a tiny spoon. I feel bad because that phrase made me want to go, oh. And I know it's not situationally appropriate, but then again, he's a little tiny hard rocker, and that's kind of adorable. And he's going to get fixed, his mouth and all that, and he's going to go through his chemo and everything, and he's going to do better. Don't make a liar out of me. Ha! Hugs to Dawn. Pie, 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 pie. Especially cream type pies. Easier to swallow. Yes, I know. Not that. Y'all are on fire tonight. But Nick, it's only 10:41 in the morning. It's night somewhere. Okay. He did eat some noodle soup yesterday. I'm so happy his tummy got noodles in it. I know. I worded that childishly. That's fine. Wording is hard. Hey, Foxy. And I didn't say it nice. Every once in a while, I catch it. Green room tonight. Off the hook, I'm sure. I know a certain Grim is very looking forward to it. We'll see. I might not be able to stop in. I'll have to see what kind of energy I got. Hopefully, Carl, I need laughs. I'll be there if not too tired from my squeeze today. Hugs to Foxy. Squeeze away. Thank you for taking care of that and yourself. I agree too. They're watching mine pretty well since I have a scun of tar tissue. A ton of scar tissue from the reduction. That makes sense. Someone DM'd about what the pickles were about, so of course I let them know the history. I've always said we have so many inside jokes. We are always letting people in on them. Somebody needs to set up a wiki for those. And for those who are in the IT field, if Nick gets fiber, we will need to make sure that the Nick field is still contained to Earl Park. What? No, usually the Nick field interacts with wireless applications and then electrical applications. Fiber is fiber optics, and I don't usually affect light-based systems that much, making you want some pickles now. Oh, yeah. Hi, Joey. Hey, man, Joe, we can't let that escape into the wild. I don't even blame him for not letting me in, visit his house. I'm serious. I don't. Maybe it would slow the rapid expanse of unethical uses of AI. And I might have considered, if they offered me, a janitorial position, just to, get the right music going, barely pushing a broom, minding my own business. Meanwhile, Thunderstruck is playing. Dun, dun. As the clouds start to generate out from whatever building I'm in. Oh, yeah. Went to Five Below yesterday. I love Five Below. I'm so annoyed that I was too broke to buy the remote control Nerf tank, because now they're going for $70. Anyway, found a kit. It's a Christmas stitch. Not a fave item, but it'll do. A crochet kit. Cool. And cool, Dawn, something to keep you busy. I got my little kit. The one Thesis got me. The Nick field would either slow the rampant expense or AI, or Skynet would fully form. There would be no middle ground for it. This is true. This is true. But if Skynet fully formed in exposure to the Nick field, it would be a lot less Arnold Schwarzenegger, I'll be back, and more like deranged anime YouTuber or VTuber throwing it back. You know? And with that, a word from our sponsors. We were talking about crocheting, so we'll do these things. Let's see. Gotta take a little grocery shopping. See y'all later. Have fun. Seriously, get out there and get into some mischief. Later, Dan. Have a nice trip, Dan. Enjoy yourself. Grab yourself something nice. Skynet with Tourette syndrome would make a great writing prompt and drawing prompt. Possible. See you, Dan. Or at least with a very least Skynet with a nervous tick and narcolepsy. Well, see, it would just decide that it's better to just keep me amused and my little tiny chunk of the world taken care of, and then it can go do what it needs to. Tourette's with accent with like Johnny dangerously. Lothario, because Lothario loves you all. Max! My eyes aren't wanting to focus this morning. I understand that. Captain Skynet Sparrow. I may be the worst digital pirate you've ever heard of, but you have heard of me. Ma! Howdy, y'all. We missed you so much, Max. You missed a great game. Maturity. I respect it, but it annoys me. Hey, Max. Hi, Max. Mr. Rodman has good perspective. Calm yet alert. Indeed. Don says, morning, Xander.
Hi.
He says hi. Good morning, Xander. Hope you have a great day. And when times are darkest, that's when good people are needed the most. Absolutely. And I'm just about trying to prop some of them up. Holding out until the heroes show up. Happy Friday, everyone. Hope the week has gone well for y'all, and the weekend ahead is an enjoyable one. It's going to be interesting. Hi, Chris. Hey, Chris. Hi, Chris. Squee. Anyone I missed while incapacitated by Katie Love? Sure. Howdy, Donna. Don is okay. This is when Don and Max were Don and Max were greeting Manda and her babies. Mommy hardly gave me any love at all. Little liar. He's such a drama king. He is. Thank you, Nick, about the cheer and positive words for Chad. They brought happy tears to my eyes. Pinky wiggles. Always. Always. There's some crazy Lego sets. I saw bootleg Lego sets for Firefly and for Stargate on Amazon. And I am not supposed to spend money. So I am not. But dang. We're pulling for you guys. Max said I should make my roughage loaf again. Oh my gosh. It's very good. It's very good stuff. I ate a cubic centimeter of it because I'm not stupid. Powerful substance. Am I blurry? I look blurry today. Oh, well. It could be the static from the hair being down. Green Room Wiki, another project for Uncle Carl. Well, Nevermind the Furthermore lore, Green Room. Somebody needs to compile all this. Thank you, Foxy. Get some good fiber. More work, sheesh. Hey, Josh. Dawn's not feeling terribly well. She's got a lot on her mind. So I just want to say from Dawn, sorry late. I'm having to deal with some. It's okay. It happens. Morning, everyone. Good morning, Josh. Hola. Trey, how hard is it to do a flat rectangle with crochet? That shouldn't be too hard. Mandy can do those things. She's theoretically going to teach. Ouch. She's theoretically going to teach me how to knit one of these days, so I have a practical excuse for carrying around 2 large spikes. But you have to understand that systems that have contained entropy, like string, tend to not tangle and around me. It's like I'm an excessive catalyst for change. Assorted birds. More assorted. Wait, y'all! Okay, you don't know this because it's not showing for you. But right now on my screen, that little crow, purple bird, is looking sideways. But when I click on it to bring it up to show you, that bird looks at me. That is some creepy stuff. Somebody else check that on StreamYard. That's creepy. Don't think I'm not seeing that glitch in the Matrix. Does the other one do it? Okay, that's freaky. Anyway. Hey, Josh, missed you last week in the green room. That devil bird is back. Okay, so I'm not crazy. Well, I mean, I am crazy, but not in this case. Had a lot on my mind. It happens. Hey, Josh. Just know that you're on our minds. Yeah, bud. You ever want to chat? You know how to get a hold of me. Now, right now, I'm fighting some phony issues, which Mandy came to get, but, excuse me, I may have completely blown my voice out between the epic game and then on Knight's behavior is good. I read to Xander. I read him chapters of different manga. And we are working on part of the How a Realist Hero Rebuilt the Kingdom. First omnibus, volume 1 and 2. And unfortunately, he gave a rousing speech. And I am not going to fail to give a rousing speech when a rousing speech is appropriate. See, like nearly any of my streams. Hey, Carl. Dang. Monitor keeps going black, so please excuse if I miss the comments. I'm sorry. I'll let you know what it is tonight. Okay. Oh, ho, that again? Yeah. Max says, I felt so bad for Sophie's cousin. She ate a whole square of it. But did she learn something? Yes. Hello, Churro. I hope you enjoyed your assorted Christmas presents. I can't wait to see how it works out. I am excited. Churro may have gotten a dress we found on Amazon haul and some like belty goodness. So I'm excited to see how that works out for her because I want to make people happy. And the folks I care about, I want to be extra happy. So, yeah. Churro! LOL, poor girl. Churro. Churro! Me! Hi, Don. Hi, Foxy. Max, we've been talking all morning. You didn't need to say hi here. Nuh-uh. Yeah. Max and Churro, in case you didn't hear, I don't think I'll be able to make Indie CDCon. Sorry for the icky news. I will miss you, kiddos. You will be missed, Dawn. Churro. Oh, okay, we'll miss you, Dawn. Yep, I'm going to run some ads. It's like Addy time. I'm running some ads. What am I running? Oh, I have to run this one because of Joe. And Joe will understand. I know, Dawn, you're not running the show, but Joe pulled one, so. And because I ran that one solely in reference to Joe's little prank, I'm going to run this one properly.
Hi, this is Kat. During the school year, I'm Mrs. Rothermel, but otherwise, I'm Rock and Roll Art Goddess, writing about my past and filming the present. I need you to join my Rock and Roll Art army and to check out my merch on Zazzle.com. What started out as journal therapy is now 4 books, I see, and an Instagram account to blow off steam, becoming a book, with another to do the same. A short film for a friend. No, this is not the end. Peace, love, and let me art.
I'm going to go through some comments, but this way we're doing what we're doing. Let's see. Churro! Oh, okay. We'll miss you, Dawn. The Crow is watching. This thing, you got to understand. Carl. Oh, okay. Also, Nick, check your email. I skipped over something you said about the Bard, but notices it now. Okie dokie. Max, you don't get to know now. Ha! Ted will be in the thick of chemo and radiation, so he thinks I should. That's correct. And Max says, that Bard. And Churro says, that Bard is a lovely man, and you need to be nice to him. Never. I did. They're the dryer now. Oh, excellent. See you guys tonight. See ya later, Josh. Nick got 811 confused with 411 when we were talking, so of course I had to play this. Yes. Bye, Josh. We probably need to get pulled out for cat lunchtime any minute now. Speaking of which, I'll figure out what I want for lunch. What I want when I go to the store. Yeah. I'm glad I could bring a smile, even if I had nothing to do with it. Oh, you bring all sorts of smiles you had no intention for, dear. Have the best day you can, everyone. And unfortunately, it looks like I'm not going to be able to make it to DCDCon. Work is slowed. Finances aren't looking good for the first quarter. You take care of yourself. Now, guys, once again, I want to remind you before I I'll make it, but it's going to be tough for a while. Before I wrap up, I am eternally grateful for all of you, for your input, for your viewership, for allowing me into your lives. I also understand that as situations progress, the economy isn't really doing real well. And while I am grateful beyond measure for those who've been able to financially support me, never overextend yourself or even make yourself uncomfortable at all to give anything to me. Okay, guys? Even if it's just the extreme pleasure of your company. I want you guys healthy. I want you guys happy. I want you guys safe. I carry a lot of wishes for folks, but it's usually that. I still have my silly goofball dreams of putting a greenhouse in my backyard and a swimming pool of some sort in it so that I can spend all year safely manateeing about. But those are silly dreams. I'd trade it all to make sure everybody was happy, everybody was healthy, everybody was safe. So guys, do just that. And while you're doing that, keep writing, keep creating, keep drawing. Because when you do, you can edit it, you can improve it, but you can't edit a blank page. I love you, and you should too. I'll be back tonight for the Historical Fencing Guild's live stream. Not sure how late that's going to run. And then I'll see you next week. So those are the plans. A few of you I'll see Sunday. A couple of you anyway. And I am looking forward to that beyond measure. But beyond that, have a good one, folks. Toodles.